Hey, folks, welcome to the Redneck Country Podcast. You were on with Real Redneck Todd Millard, and of course, we've got the almost guy, Real Redneck Bill Tom. Bill, are you there?
I am here, and it's a beautiful night for a podcast.
So far, it's a beautiful night for a podcast. They're calling for something crazy weather, but right now we're okay.
Well, I tell you right now, if it starts to get too bad, I'm out here in the sunroom, and it's like a giant box where the rain comes down, and you will hear every drop. I can promise you that. So we'll have to see what happens as the podcast progresses here.
It's not like I'm going to let you talk much anyway, so we're good. I'll just mute you.
No, I know. There'll be a whole lot of mute going on based on the activities that went on last week with you. So that's just the way it is. I'm good with that.
That's just
I got my tea. I'm happy.
Got my
good night.
Got your tea.
And I'm wearing this real nice.
Wait.
Redneck
Let me finish that. You've got your tea. You're wearing this really nice, Culture Club 80s concert tee.
Well, I mean, if you want to call the Redneck Country Podcast shirt that, I mean, it's all up to you. But this podcast shirt got pulled out of the closet for the special occasion tonight.
Sleeve,
and
I might
recording.
Long
it
sleeve.
Suits me. You're absolutely right, because I don't have arms for a short sleeve shirt. I never wear short sleeve shirts.
Yeah, see, that's so bizarre.
Yeah, it is what it is. It's the makeup of what makes me me.
Big beard, little arms. Big beard, little arms.
Yeah. Anyways.
Sitting beside me, not having a clue what we are saying, is the patriarch of Redneck Country, my father, Real Redneck Don Millard. Dad, is your mic hot?
It's hot, and I'm listening intently. And Bill's talking about shirts, and all my shirts were kind of big and baggy, Bill. So I went out and bought 6 or 7 brand new T-shirts in my size, different style. T-shirts.
This is an awesome story.
And I took them into our embroiderer.
Won't mention any names.
Our flyers.
Our old embroiderer.
Yeah, with all our files. And I had everything written out and pinned in place where I wanted what, where, and waited 3.5 weeks. And he called me today and said at 2:30, he says, you got till 4 and I'm picking them up, and then you got to wait till pick them up, or you got to wait till tomorrow. I said, I'll be right there. So I was all excited. And on 3 of them, 3 different style T-shirts, I had in writing, Oxford Sportsman Club, Trap, and Sporting Clays as part of the logo that I've had put on them. And so I opened them up, and I thought, oh man, I can't wait to wear one of these tomorrow night. And all 3 say Oxford Sportsman's Club, Trap, and Shoe Tong.
What is that?
You tell me.
It's the Chinese version of Sporting Clays.
SHOOTONG, Shutong. And I looked at the papers, and every one of them taped in that spot, because he pinned them back on. I pinned them back on so you'd know we did it right. And every one of them says SPORTING, Sporting Clays. And every T-shirt says Shutong.
They're going to become a collector's edition.
Oh my Lord!
If you sign them, I guarantee we can put them up on the website, and we get good money for that.
Them, yeah, then it's a shirt with rating on it and then shoot dog.
Yeah.
Value Village wouldn't take them shirts. They'd be like, what are we going to do with these?
It can only happen to me.
Not to mention they're bright yellow like the sun.
Well, 2 are yellow, 1's white, but they're different.
But they're all wrong.
No kidding.
No, not necessarily. If you put the Chinese letters in there, it might make sense. He just tried to convert it to English.
Yeah, right.
Well, that's unfortunate. Now you got to find 2 things: new T-shirts and a new embroiderer.
Well, we've already got the new. Well, we've already got it.
He said that he can repair them. They have a claw that will take it out, and then they'll rerun the bottom line. So if they don't look good, we're looking at replacing shirts and everything. But I already waited long enough.
I know.
The weather is not going to be conducive to wearing them. I am wearing one now tonight that they did right, but there was no writing or printing. It was just files they already had. So, and it looks pretty good.
And it's yellow.
And it fits really nice. Like finally, I
You
got
are
a
my
t-shirt that isn't baggy on me.
sunshine,
So
my only
There you go.
sunshine.
those three got to
Make
go
me
back.
happy.
Well, that's just the way we roll, I guess.
Yep.
We're almost getting shirts the way they're supposed to be.
You got it. You got it. Almost.
See, if you just don't wear a shirt, you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Get yourself a tattoo. Where's your dedication?
I think we're good with the shirts, Todd. I think we're good with the shirts.
I'll go along with that.
You could get one on the back of your shoulder, Bill, like a tea bag with the logo on it. I think it'd be pretty wicked.
I'm going to do hard pass on that. But thanks for the suggestion. That's that. So, hey, so where are we going today? What are we going to talk about?
Oh, we got lots. Like, let's just what we did this week, and I'll tell you what, it will evolve. So, if you're listening and you're like, "Meh, okay, fun time's over. We heard Dad talk. Turn it off." No. We're going to talk about where I'm going to go when it's my turn, if it gets to be my turn. Is goose hunting, new decoy spread. Did it work? Did it not? The do's and don'ts. Early season.
Yeah, we had the early season open up, I guess.
It opened Thursday.
Thursday.
Last Thursday. We're sitting at Tuesday right now. We're recording a day late.
Yeah, we are. But you guys had some opportunity to get in the field, and that's as far as I'll take it.
Yeah, because
until it gets in your turn.
Bill, what did you do this week?
Yeah, well, we had some challenges. I won't go into that too much on
knit
the
one,
podcast.
pearl two. Did you knit one, pearl three?
No, we won't go too much into where I was last weekend and what we had to do instead of being in goose fields. But that I had to take some time, spend it with the family, and to pay our respects to my grandmother there. And
condolences. Yeah, and it's always good to get enjoy family at that time, right? Celebrate life. Think of it. I always look at it. I know when my grandparents passed, that's what it was, right? We just talked about the actual service is a little bit heart wrenching, but then after, and you talk about the legacy, and you're looking around and you're seeing they created all of us, right? Like there's a bit of them in all of us, little personalities. And I think then I enjoy it. And then it becomes the story times, and you start to enjoy and sometimes it can really heal a family if there's other turmoil kicking too. Cause then you can see, well, now I understand, because I never really thought, but yeah, that's a little bit of grandpa or a little bit of grandma in that person. I can understand where they're coming from.
Yeah, and we were able to. I mean, COVID times being what it is, we weren't able to have, the same type of service and whatnot. But we were still able to get together as a family. And my uncle was in from out west, and he was able to be there too. So, anyways, I mean, that's what happens. And we paid our respects, and now it's time for the healing process to carry on, and we can tell some good stories on the podcast. But thank you for all your kind words and what you guys said leading up to it. We said, shared and passed your good wishes along to my family too. So thanks again, guys. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Yeah.
So we got home from the trip, and Candace and I on Sunday were completely wiped out, but we decided, you know what, we're going to head to the gun club. And it was a good day. It was a good day at the gun club.
It was a good day. Okay, first question: is there ever a bad day at the gun club?
No, there's frustrating days. I'll give you that. And I owe your dad a lot for this Sunday. And
oh my gosh, where are we going with that? What are you kissing butt for now?
No, I'm not.
He ain't got a shirt to send you, Bill. They're all screwed up unless you want to be a Chinese sporting clay shooter.
No, we're good without the shirt, but I decided to change up a little bit of my practice routine, because I remember somebody saying one time that you can shoot any choke tube you want as long as it's full. And
good grief.
And I said, well, and you too, Todd, said that you practice with full and you shoot something different for competition day, right?
Yep, I shoot light mod, right? but my light mod is pretty tight. So it's a tighter constriction light mod.
I changed up a couple of things. So I decided I'm gonna listen to music. I wanted to do something to break my mind up from the concentration and that sort of stuff.
Comes to the gun club.
Yeah, so I had my headphones on. I was listening.
I can hear it now. I can see you bopping out there now. Doom, doom, doom.
Oh, I was. I was in my own. It was a 5-person squad. I mean, it was pretty busy at the gun club on Saturday. So Candace and I shot skeet first. I didn't use my headphones and stuff or full choke tubes for that, but we had a good time shooting skeet, and like we always do. It's a little bit more social. Not during skeet, no. Skeet being more social
because you chirp each other and have a blast. Yeah.
So, I mean, I was making fun of myself and missing some easy targets, and Candace was doing really well, making ink balls out of targets and
that's awesome
on the skeet field. So we shot 2 rounds, and then we decided to go where down to the other end and shoot some 16-yard, and then we actually ended up shooting some handicap too, just so I could practice for this weekend's coming ATA shoot.
Whoop, whoop.
So leading up to.
So then you put your headphones on. You listen to music.
Right. So now I'm on the 16-yard line. I got my full choke tube in on the bottom barrel, obviously, and I put the music on. I'm on station 5. Like I always
all jokes aside, what are you willing to share the music? Like Celine Dion, My Heart Will Go On, like a joke, Karma Chameleon.
No, I took your playlist and I put it to the side. So the Celine Dion and all that kind of stuff was your playlist. I put that to the side, and I put mine on, which is everything from AC/DC, which got me really pumped up. Like all the old rodeo tunes and songs and stuff, I kind of tried to put that into a little playlist of just it popped me up a little bit. It wasn't slow music, but it wasn't super aggressive music, if that makes any sense. So
yeah, upbeat music.
Yeah, it was upbeat, and I was just into it. And I don't know, but I think I broke a 24, and it may have been a 25, but we're going to go with a 24 because I'm not sure.
So I get a text. Yeah. I might have just shot my first 25 straight, and I'm like, awesome. Wait, what? How do you almost, or you did? And you're like, well, I'm not sure if I dropped my second bird or not. And I'm like, okay. Did you ask everybody else on the squad?
Nobody
they're
knows.
Not sure either.
Not so one person on that squad knows.
Well, now what do we do? I said, your call. I got the patch sitting here. It's either going to you or it's going to Candace first. So you guys figure that out. And then you figure out if this is your first 25, because I will bring it and I will give it to you. But if you say it's not, then you better not shoot 25 on this next one, because then we're like, did you shoot your first 50 straight?
Yeah. So the first round, with full choke, station 5, everything was ink balls. Now, I'm not kidding you. I don't understand.
Is it a psyche thing? Were you shooting a little bit slower because you knew you had full choke in your gun?
Maybe subconsciously, maybe I did. I don't know.
Like you're concentrating harder. You got to be, because you're thinking, I got to be dead center of these. I'm shooting full choke. I got to slow down just a little bit, and I can slow down. I can let them get out there a little further because I got a full choke.
I didn't let them get out that far.
I know. Honestly, when I shoot sporting clays, I don't think I shot them
any faster or slower than I would have with my competition choke tubes.
See, when I shoot sporting clays, my brain goes there. I'll shoot if I got a more full choke in, I'll shoot slower, take my time. If I got a more open choke, I'll shoot quicker.
Well, I don't know, but I tell you, other than the one I'm not sure.
Like that's bad, right? Like I should just see orange, kill orange. But and so I've got and that's why I was told that fixed chokes, be done with it for sporting clays. So put them in, forget it. That's your choke. Shoot.
Don't change them. Yeah. Like I don't know. I mean, like I was saying, every target wasn't chipped; it was smoke. And I don't know if it's a combination of full choke with the handicap loads, my gun, whatever. The pattern had 0 holes in it, and I was on every single target.
That's what I was going to say. You got less holes in the full choke pattern.
I'm convinced I will not shoot full choke in competition. Like I'm going to shoot full choke competition
this weekend when we hit Quinny, you're gonna put a full choke in.
I'm not gonna. Yes, absolutely. I'm gonna shoot full choke on Saturday.
16 years.
I think I shot a 24. So we'll leave it at 24. It wasn't a 25 because I'm pretty sure I missed my second bird, but I'm not 100%. Anyways, I shot a 24 and I followed it up with a 23, and I missed 2 easy ones that I just got lazy on.
With a full choke.
Yeah, with a full choke. So I shot a 24 and a 23, and I went back to caps with the full choke, and I was frustrated. So I don't know why. the full choke at caps distance produced a worse score, but I'm going to go back to.
Well, see, and I used to shoot an improved mod choke no matter what, singles or caps, all the way to the 27-yard line, even for like Annie Oakley's improved mod. Big, long, extended. I think it was kicks or smoke. I don't remember what it was.
What yardage did you shoot?
23.
My suggestion would be to hold a little higher gun and then shoot them just like a 16 when you see them.
Okay. I'm the opposite. I hold a lower gun.
Yeah, but then you just move over top of them because you shoot a really high gun. My suggestion to Bill would be when you're back to 23, hold a little higher gun because
that angle increases.
Yeah. So, and then shoot them just like a 16 when you see them. Because you're going to see them, you're not going to see them as soon because you're holding a little higher gun.
Yeah.
And now you're going to be able to stay ahead of them because they're out there further when you first see them from handicap, unless you hold a little higher gun, and then you'll see them at the same time that you would normally see them at 16, only they're out further. So now you shoot them the same.
Full choke. You would use full choke for both. Wouldn't matter. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Maybe I'll give that a try.
Figure out the force and just put on a blindfold.
Yeah. Well, I felt like in the first 2 rounds at 16 yards, I felt like I could have closed my eyes and they would have blown up. That's how good I felt. Like the targets were just there.
Yeah.
And like I said, I wasn't chipping them. They were smoke. So anyways, so that full choke is what I'm going to shoot this weekend with the Challenger handicap loads. Candace did really well too. Shot her average. I think she shot a 15 and an 18, which she was super happy about. She got frustrated on a couple stations, but a couple stations she was 5 straight on. So, I mean, it's small wins, right?
Yeah.
For both of us. So she's excited about going this weekend and shooting handicap and singles. So we're going to head up on Saturday to spend some time with my daughter in college, and then we'll be there first thing Sunday morning. So
right on.
Going to be fun.
I will see you there.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it. So anyways, well, I won't take up much more time because I know we got a lot to talk about from our fine feathered friends in St. Thomas, right? Yeah. So let's go. Let's
go. We want to start with Thursday first.
Yeah. I mean,
let me tell you how we got to Thursday because we weren't going to hunt Thursday. Thursday was the opener, and Todd works and
very hard.
Yeah, and
right.
It would have been just him and I because everybody else works if we did go, and so we weren't going to hunt Thursday, and I did have a field lined up, and I said, it's a good field. It had 100 geese in it.
We had to pick and choose. He had 2 fields lined up, but we
didn't get there yet. I had a field lined up.
Yeah, but you had 2. You have to say you had 2.
Don't intervene in my story.
Serenity
you talk
now.
Enough.
Serenity now.
You talk enough. No, we had this field lined up, and I already talked to the farmer and asked him to hold it till Saturday. If anybody asked you, hold it till Saturday. He said, fine. Well, then the next time I went out scouting, I realized I went by this cornfield. It was picked. It had been picked on Sunday, and this was Tuesday, and there was geese in it already. And I thought, because some Monday was when I found the first field, and it was wheat. So Tuesday, I'm in a different area, and that cornfield just got picked. And the farmers confirmed, yep, it was Sunday. I said, there's geese in it already. Will you hold it for Saturday? He says, certainly will. So now we got 2 held for Saturday. Now we had 2, and we had to decide which one we were going to hunt.
We had 2.
Well, then Todd finally made the call. I'm getting off. We're going to hunt one Thursday, one Saturday. So I said, okay, that's good. So I made the phone call to the first guy, said, hey, we're coming in on Thursday now instead. He said, oh, that's good. Good luck. Connor got off. And in fact, he asked his boss if he could have the morning. His boss says, you can have the whole day. So he was pumped, and the 3 of us went. So you can carry on.
I can take it now? I'm allowed to talk now?
You're allowed to talk now. That's how we got there, Bill. So we hunted Thursday and Saturday.
So Thursday, the field, there was only 60 or 70. So that's why we weren't really certain if we were going to. But I thought, you know what? It's opening day, 60 or 70. There's 3 of us going to go. We might as well, because if we don't, we're never going to go hit that field. And those 60 or 70 are going to leave and feed that field out and move somewhere else before the northerns come down. And so then where they go to a place we don't have permission, we can't get permission. So
yeah, you're messed up then. Make
hay while the sun shines. So I thought we might as well. So we got out there, we put out the spread, and it was just really, we didn't do anything fancy. We just because I had to put the decoys out by myself while Dad and Connor were brushing in the blinds because it was a cut wheat field. So now you're scrounging. We have a couple rakes in the goose trailer. So Dad and Connor get them out and they're scrounging up like as much of the wheat stubble stems as you can to stuff in the blind and make us look like a wheat pile. We try to put the 3 blinds together as close as possible. And then without shadows, so you fill it in with wheat stubble in between them, and then still stuff it down in all of the little holders that can hold like corn stalks or wheat or whatever to really brush it in, so it looks like a pile of wheat stubble.
Gotta look flat from the air, so even on the outside of those 3 blinds together,
there'd be shadows if you didn't.
You kind of feather it down.
Brush them down, yeah.
You just kind of feather it down until there's no shadow.
So I knew that would be a lot of work. So you 2 do that. I will put the decoys out. We've talked about it last year. Everything else, I'm pretty fussy on the decoy spread. You've been with me, Bill. Yeah. You know how it goes. So I will do the decoys.
I like to move them to 2 feet just to see if you're going to notice. Right?
Yeah, that's right. So after it's light, I said to Connor, he's, wow, Todd's out there just really messing around. I said, yeah, wait till it gets light. He will not stop fussing with those things until the geese are in the air and you hear him. He will move this one, move that one, move this one. And Todd and Connor says, really? Because this was Connor's first goose hunt ever. And I said, yeah, you watch. So it got light. We're standing there talking, and then it got light, and out he goes. I said, see? Well, then he moved about 3, and then Connor yelled at him, hey, I put them there. Don't move them. And he started bucking Todd. So
now that's why they're getting moved. So I put the decoy, and I was actually impressed that because we got there, I don't know, 5 a.m. It's light at like 6:45. You want to be ready to rock. Geese might start coming in at 10 after 7. So I was impressed that we were able to get the blinds brushed in with only 3 of us. I probably put out 130. I mean, there was still,
I was going to ask you,
there was still 20 there was probably 20 or 30 still left in the trailer. So I'm guessing I put her like, we got what, 150, 160 in there.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing I got 130 out anyway by myself in a good spread. Yeah. I mean, I was impressed with the time. Now I wore running shoes. So I was cooking. So anyway, got them all out and then sat down and they started coming, and really
like right away, first light they were
it was pretty early.
It was early
because we were done by 8:00. So yeah, like they started coming right quick, and I was impressed. Like 2, I think were the first 2 that came in, and we're like, holy crap, there's geese coming in already. Now, we always say, we're going to screw up. If there's 200 geese out there, they're coming in like 10 flocks or whatever, because they're all families right now. It isn't the northern migration coming down in bunches of 50 and 80 where they're picking up families as they come. So typically they should be in 10 to 15 group packs, but we've been seeing bigger ones because they're just not migrating. So they're hanging around and getting bigger and bigger, hence the early season. So we had a couple that came in dead quiet. And I always say, we get a group of 200, 250 feet in a field. We're going to screw up 5 to 6 flocks. That's a given. You're going to be out picking up decoys. When they come in, they're going to see you. You're not going to get back to the blind in time. You're going to be messing around, whatever. You're not going to call take them. Another group's going to come and join them. That's going to happen. But so on this group, I would say we probably screwed up 2 flocks, came in dead quiet, didn't even know they were coming in, picking up geese, standing up, talking, whatever, and probably messed up, but we still did okay. So, and Connor, I'll tell you what, I was impressed. He can pull the trigger on geese. And then we even got, 6 doves. Yeah. I think.
Oh,
yeah.
Good.
6 doves as they were flitting around us in between volleys of geese. So, we were having a good time. It was a blast. And then Connor actually got not only was this his first hunt, and I believe he said he knocked down 4 or 5 geese. Like he was counting and going, oh, I got that one. And it's tough because when we're that close together and a flock of 8 comes in, there's a lot of times you're going to shoot at the same bird, right? So and I've shot enough geese over the 20 plus years, whatever, not a big deal. I'll even sit and wait for somebody to shoot and then go up, and Dad has to anyway, just because he's too slow to get out of the blind. So he's always waiting for us anyway. So
do you actually believe that you wait for somebody else to shoot?
Well, Saturday will define this. I'll get there. But so yeah, on Thursday. So I mean, we probably shot the same bird a bunch of times just because it is human nature to pick out the easy bird right there. And really, we're 1, 2, 3. Yeah, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to take the front. You take the middle, Dad. You take the back. But there's only 8 birds, and 4 of them didn't commit. They're flaring. So the 4 right in front of you, you're going to shoot the same friggin' birds.
Right.
It's just
and you guys all shot right-handed?
Yeah.
So you're able to set the blinds and have enough space between you. What did you use?
Yeah, we weren't
I don't
touching at all. Like we
probably had 5 feet between us.
Yeah, we had 5 feet between us. It took
like
a little filling in, but
we could
that's
high five
close
each other
when you're swinging a gun. You don't want to shoot over somebody's head.
No,
because that muzzle blast is awful.
Yeah, you end up not being able to hear
for pansies. Anyway,
a while.
So we did good. But not only did he knock down geese, knock down doves. Like I mean, he shot a dove. I was like, holy crap, that's a good shot right there. But he also got not only his first banded bird, he got his first double banded bird.
That's crazy.
And I'm like, it's all downhill from here, Connor.
Yeah,
I mean,
what are you gonna, how you gonna
shot
that?
Right? You darn near shot your own limit. You got a double banded bird. Hang it up.
Yeah, I haven't shot a banded bird, banded goose yet.
Right.
So
and a lot of it is on area, right? I know guys that they stack them up. Well, okay, you're hunting right by a local park where they band them 2 kilometers away, or they band them at the park. They're living in the park year round. They're never going to leave it. They're just going out to the country to feed in a wheat field and go back. You know you're going to clean up on bands if you find that park. Like you go to the park during the day and count the bands on their legs. Right. And go, wow, we got to get permission wherever they're feeding because you're going to hammer bands. But
that's true.
Area,
we've shot a lot of geese. But to your point, I just don't think the area held banded birds.
Yeah. Like where they band them. So, I mean, if you hunt that area, guys will be like, oh, look at all the bands we got. Yeah, but I'm not impressed as much because guys that go out and I seen a Facebook post and kudos to them. I mean, it'd be awesome to go do this, but I'm not like over the moon. Wow, you guys really, really did something because they put like, I don't know, there had to be 20 feet all with bands on them in a picture online.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's good. Like that's a lot of bands. Good for you. But that many bands, you're hunting right in a banding area. You know that those geese have been banded as juveniles the year before. They're not migrating anymore, which is why we have the early season. And they're living in the parks, and you're just hunting outside of that area, and they're coming to feed. So to me, that's great. But our area, when you get a band, there's not like they're banding them locally a lot. Right. So when we get a band, and I haven't, well, I did this one. I did, Connor did. And I can't remember where he said oh, darn it. I'd have to ask him again where he said it was banded. It wasn't locally around here.
One was 7 years old that he got.
Yeah.
Really?
The double banded was 7 years old.
That's incredible. How did you shoot, Don?
Well, there was one flock came in 4 or 5, and they came in just like they were supposed to, and they were right over us. And I don't get up as fast as Connor and Todd, but I'm getting up quicker because my shoulder's better and I can lift the gun. So I'm not struggling. I'm not pushing the sides open and then picking up the gun now. I'm going up and letting my elbows and the gun open them up. So I'm getting up quicker. So this 5 is right up in the air, right in front of us, 20 yards in the air. And I did get one shot away and got one out of that bunch. And I saw 3 fall. And I thought we'd got them all. And then Todd's yelling, over your head. And I had to look higher. And there was one trying to get away right straight left of me, right over my left shoulder. And it was over my head. And that's why I didn't see it. So I was able to swing around. I'm still sitting, but I was able to swing around, get the gun up, and make a wonderful shot about 50 yards out. And he folded, come down like wham. So I said, well, that was mine for sure.
Don Millard one-shot smackdown right there.
So I was going to get out of the blind. Todd says, nope. You stay in the blind. You'll never get back here if something comes in. So he ran out and he went, oh, no. And I went, yes. And he said, yeah, it's got jewelry. And there was no doubt that I got it. So I did get it.
Sweet. That's awesome.
Yeah. So on
I forgot all about that band.
So Thursday, Todd didn't get a band. Connor got a double banded bird, and he was pumped. First goose hunt. whacking geese gets a double blend, and then I got a banded bird, and I was happy. I was getting up and shooting good. So yeah, it was a good hunt.
That's good. I'm glad Todd let you get a couple.
I seen the jewelry on it. I said, all right, Dad, this one over your head.
Right.
Yeah.
And glare off the sun off his leg.
3 shots off, no matter if you hit it on the first one or not.
If his gun hadn't been empty, he wouldn't have yelled over your head, Dad.
That's right.
Like they were out of shells, and
he couldn't put shells in that gun fast enough. That was the problem.
Yeah.
I couldn't find them in the blind. I pulled the blind that your brother had used. It was clear Monster Energy cans, and my shells were just amongst all of the stuff left in there.
We forgot to open the trailer and clean the blind. Usually I unzip the blinds and dump them, and it gets all the debris.
Yeah, but this is memories from the year before. I like mackerel.
We opened up some of them blinds Saturday that hadn't been out before, and you couldn't get your feet in the bottom of them for empty shells and boxes. So.
If anybody's reloading 3.5 inch, you let us know. We got some hauls for you. Because we still haven't cleaned them out. It's memory. It's nostalgia from the year before. And possibly the year before that.
I texted the farmer and I said, thanks very much for the hunt. We're leaving the field now. We appreciate it's a privilege. Thank you for the privilege to hunt your property. We're going home and clean them. If you want any goose breasts, just contact me and let me know. But he didn't say he wanted any. But I got to go see him again.
Well,
so Thursday was good.
Got to keep up the relations with the farmers because they're the ones that make the hunts possible, right? Without them, you just got a goose trailer.
That left the cornfield open for Saturday. So, and what we did, we neglected to tell you. I went down Friday morning to that wheat field and saw where they were sitting.
No, we went Thursday night.
I went and saw where they were sitting.
Or Friday night. No, it was Wednesday.
Wednesday morning.
We hunted Thursday.
Yeah, I went Wednesday morning. Saw where they were sitting. But I said to Todd, we got to go Wednesday night and see where they are at night. And I have trouble picking them out, even with the binoculars when it's getting dark. So Todd went with me. I pulled up.
The whole family. We all went.
Yeah, everybody went. So I pulled up to the field. Todd got the binoculars. And I said, are they even there? And he says, well, I don't see any. Oh, yeah, there they are. And
if I didn't see them, one of them was flapping his wings. I tell you, I might not have seen them.
And so that was with binoculars. Yeah. And they were way back in the field. And so he pinpointed them between this clump of brush at the other end of the field and this woods. So he pinpointed where they were. And so the next morning we drove straight to that spot, and he's looking at his landmarks and saying, okay, I believe they were right here. And we were well back in the field, so we could shoot any direction. There was nothing around us. We could shoot behind us, over us, the whole bit. Right?
We could. Dad could just sit and watch.
Yeah. So anyway, once it got light, Todd says, yes. And I said, what are you yesing about? Goose poop all around here. We're in the right spot. So, yeah. And that makes a big difference, I think. If they come right to that spot.
It tasted a little funny.
You might get them to decoy on a different spot. But
they're not going to have any hesitation coming right to the spot they were yesterday.
But, okay, there was one flock. I bought this knee brace. And you pull the knee brace on, and it's got this metal piece over the knee where their knee pops through it, and it's metal on the sides. And Velcro straps, and it really helps. It holds my knee straight and holds it together so that when I'm on my knees, it doesn't give. And we had one flock come in and land right behind us. Remember that? Right behind us. I mean, they're on the ground right behind us. The wind died off. There was wind in the morning, and then the wind died off, and they swung around, and they come from behind us. And instead of coming over us, they landed right behind us. So Todd says, well, okay, we got to stand up and turn around. So I kept up with the guys. I got up, I got turned around, and Connor is up and shooting, and I'm just bringing my gun up, and now they're in the air, and I got two coming to the right in front of me. Connor shooting in front of him, Todd shooting in front of him, and I'm thinking, oh, both you birds are dead. And I'm bringing the gun up, and my knee gave out and I went down and I had to hold my gun with my left hand, put my right hand down on the blind frame to keep from falling over the back of the blind, and I never got a shot off. And Connor looked at me and he says, "You okay?" I said, "I forgot my knee brace." That ticked me off. It gave out and down I went. Those two.
None of this can be confirmed because we were too busy shooting geese.
Well, as far as I was concerned,
I'm sure Todd helped you up and reloaded your gun and got you ready, didn't he?
But I was impressed because I don't normally even try to shoot behind me. And once I'm up and that knee gave out, I remembered, I forgot the knee brace. And I was there. I made it. I got up, held the gun over my head, swung it over my head, made the turn, got on my knees, and I thought, you two are dead. There was one right behind each other. And then my knee gave out. It ticked me off. But I remembered it on Saturday.
Okay.
Anyway.
So Saturday, we were holding the big field, and unfortunately you couldn't make it, Bill. And again, condolences. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. And so we invited a buddy, Jeff, a friend of ours. And so then we had Scotty's nephew, Michael with us, who hunted with us last year.
Michael was pumped. Michael was absolutely pumped. He kept saying, "Thanks for calling me. Thanks for calling me." Because he's been saving. He works at the gun club and he's been saving for a whole year since last year when he had his first goose hunt, sharing a gun with Uncle Scott. He bought his own gun. He bought an 870 Wingmaster. He bought 10 boxes of shells. And he was pumped. And he says, "I don't have to share a gun. I got my own limit." He said, "I got my own gun. I got my own shells. Oh, I can't believe it. Thanks for calling me." And I said, "Oh, yeah, you're in, Michael." And so anyway, I said, "I'll pick you up at 4:30. So I went around there about 20 after 4. I was a little early. And he is sitting on the front porch. He ran and I said,
"Good for him.
How long you been out there?" He says, "I don't know. I couldn't sleep. I've been out here all night."
He's just super excited to get in that goose blind again.
Yeah. And then, of course, Jeff's been goose hunting, but he usually just sits in spots and pass shoots. He's never hunted with decoys or blinds or anything. So he was really anxious to try it. So Todd invited him along. So I'll let you. So he was pumped as well. He says to me, Todd didn't hear this, but it was Jeff, Michael, and I were brushing in blinds. We had 5 now, and it was corn. And we had the rakes going, and then Todd and Connor were putting out the decoys. And so Jeff and Michael were raking, and I was carrying the piles of corn. And I mean, it took a lot of corn.
Corn stalks.
And of course, they had to be, a lot of the wheat had already fallen off. So they had to, even though they were wheat, they still had to have some corn stalks over the wheat because we were in a cornfield.
The blinds. Even though some of the wheat had fallen off the blinds from the Thursday before, they needed more corn stalks on them to brush them back in.
Just to keep yourself brushing it.
Even if it didn't fall off, you wanted to stick some leaves and stalks over the wheat so it looked more like corn. And then you had
and that was the biggest takeaway that I had from the hunt that we went on last year is how important it is to make sure those blinds are brushed in properly.
That's number one. I think that's number one. Yeah.
And Jeff looked at me and he's leaning on the rake and he says, "We got her licked." And I said, "I think we have, Jeff. I think we're pretty good. It's not bad." He says, and Jeff's not a guy to laugh much. He's not a guy to show excitement.
He's very quiet, he's very reserved.
But he'll tell you how he's feeling. So he looks at me and he says, "You know what? I'm excited about this." He says, I'm looking forward. This is like a guided hunt. This is something that you would pay for." I said, "Well, feel free."
Yeah.
So he was pumped. So I'll let Todd take over. I'll fill in
All right. So we were putting the decoys out. We figured out, we looked the night before, figured out where they were landed, right close to the road. So we're like, okay, well, we got to set up right close to the road because it's a big field. That's where they want to be. It's early. We know we're going to get all different families. We don't want one family wanting to land all the way to the front, not caring about our decoys, because people will say, "Oh, it's early season. You could decoy them." Absolutely. But if those families are coming in and those families have their set spots in that field ahead of time, like they've been feeding in there all week, those families are fighting. They don't want to come near the family that we're set up portraying. They're still going to go land where they want. And then you got a live, and I'll tell you, 10 live geese in the field on the ground trumps your decoy spread with 150 all day long.
So it's the same thing for turkeys. If you got live decoys, you're you're euchred.
Yep. If those hens pull those toms and walk away, you're screwed, right?
Yeah,
So it's no different. I mean, you watch, they'll circle you high, the decoy spread. They'll look at that other flock. They may circle you again, come down a little bit for a better look, but still too high, and then they'll go land with that other spread. It just with that live decoy, with the live geese every freaking time, like clockwork. I don't care who you are, it happens. So you want to be where those geese want to be. So we set up right close, fairly close. I mean, we're still legal, but we were along the edge of the road. And we
looked Friday night. I said to Todd, we're going Friday night and we're going to look and see where they are. And so we glassed them, and there they were.
Didn't really have to glass them. They were right there on the road.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I said, okay, here's the problem. The way the wind's blowing is if we set up the way we should, so that their feet in their face, right? They land into the wind. So set up a nice horseshoe, put us right there in front of it. We're going to be shooting at the road, and we're too close. We can't do it. So we love, and you've heard me say this, Bill, we love the J hook. It's just,
that's right.
How often can you do the J? Because you'll make that long J, and the pocket is that J, and we set up on the side, and they'll come in looking where they're going to land at that J, and not even clue in that we're along the edge of that decoy spread, the long line that they're flying down. You jump up and put your gun up. They don't even flare or nothing because they didn't even see you. They're looking at where they're going to land. And so this is an opportunity to use the J. Let's knock it out. So we started doing the J, and then realized that the wind had shifted yet a little bit more. And now, okay, we've got to move. So we had to move the blinds. So that it's 5:30 in the morning. We were in there by 4:45. So it's 5:30 in the morning. We started brushing the blinds. We've got to move them. So we got to come down further here. We got to put the J more on an angle. And now I'm going to make it more of an L, because the way that this wind's blowing, they want to land with the larger group. So you make that long string really thin, one or two decoys wide. They don't want to land there. They're going to go land in that pocket where it's 50 deep of geese. And we make it 50. We got 150 plus decoys. So we will make that thing long so that they don't want to land over that, because then they're going to fly past that hook and land on the outside of the decoys. We don't want that. We want them to land where there's the most decoys. They'll probably land about 15 yards back from that. So we're doing the math. We're putting it out. Well, we turned out, by the time we got all the decoys out, that we kind of made like a modified J, like an L. And so, because I really wanted to overload, the way the wind was blowing, it was almost like it was shifting. They would come down, and I figured they're going to hook in towards the line instead of just landing down in the hoop of the J. So we made it like an L. So there was overloaded geese on both sides of that corner where you start to round it out. So that was it. Boom, make the L. They're going to come in and land right there. So as the morning starts, the first goose coming, it's a loner. And I mean, it was early. It was 5 after 7.
And it was breezy. And we could not believe this goose. We heard him coming. That's a goose. And we had to dive for the blinds. And I looked at my watch, 5 after 7. They're never this early.
Like, it was
That's early.
And there was a breeze. So beautiful. The winds, the way we're sitting. See, where we should have been sitting was facing the road. Well, we're only 50 yards off the road. So there's no way we can shoot that way. Like, if we went to the back of the field, we could have, but that's not where they were sitting.
That's not where they were landing.
That's not where they were landing the night before. So if we want to be where they were landing the night before, we're only 50 yards from the road. So we're aiming, facing away from the road on an angle. And this goose is coming from the road right in.
From way over. It's coming. And you can hear, burr, burr. That's a goose. I'm like, what? I look up, sure enough, here it comes. Holy crap. So we all dive in our blinds. Now, contrary to popular belief, go back to Thursday. Now, this morning, all right, it's a Saturday. We've got Michael, that is a newer hunter. Connor, it's only his second hunt. Jeff has never really hunted in a field with decoys and everything, and he's pumped. Me and Dad, okay, I'm going to let them shoot. So in it comes. Bah, bah. Well, it gets so close. I'm the one calling it. Its wings are set. It's dropping right in. It's perfect. Take it. Michael's the first. Jumps up. Wham! Nothing. Wham! Nothing. Connor's to my right. Bam! Bam! Jeff didn't get up in time. So I'm now up, and I'm thinking, I can't wait any longer. It's now circling, and it's flying away and starting to climb. And I pulled the trigger, and Jeff goes, nice shot! And it starts to come down. And then that's it. I hit it. All right, we're good to go. Well, Connor, that's not good enough. Bam, bam. He's still trying to pound this thing. Great if I don't have to chase it that far. So I got up and I I winged it, and you know how it's doing that shuffled in the air. And it's getting further and further away. And dude, I am on a full run because all I'm thinking about is this is the scout. This is the one.
You got to get that one.
They send him out. He comes out first. He looks at the spread. If he doesn't go back to the pond, they know he stayed there feeding. We're good to go. Now,
that's such backwards logic as a goose, though. If that guy never came back, well, there goes
he could be
Jimmy.
dead.
He's done. I'm not going over there.
We take this. It's a parable from the Bible, Bill. When Noah sent the dove out of the ark and the dove didn't come back. So anyway,
I get your point.
Anyway, so I know he's not going back. He's going down. He's going to be in this field. The problem is he's a ways away, and he's crippled. Like I got to get him because who knows where he's going to end up. And my concern, I'm running, and I wore running shoes, my Nikes, camouflage Nikes, and I was running because all I'm thinking is this scout came. There's a flock coming behind him. It's not going to be long, and I've got to run. 300 yards, like I'm going 3 football fields. He's out there. So I run, finally catch up to him, get him, put him out of his misery, run him back. I look down, and guess what?
Oh, while he was out there, and everybody said, like, Connor says, I couldn't hit that bird. And Mike says, I missed him twice. Jeff says, I never got a shot off. I said, with 400s beside 500, 400s, 400.
And I let them all shoot first.
With 400s next to me, I didn't even bother getting up. I've seen Michael whack birds. I've seen Connor whack birds. I know Todd can. I never even got up. But I thought, finally, somebody hit it. Well, Connor said, yeah, watch him come back with a double-banded bird. So anyway, he comes back, and he's not saying anything. And then he laid it on us. Go ahead.
So I flip it over, and bam! Double-banded bird. First one in the morning.
Connor.
I cannot believe not only did you get one double-banded bird, you got 2 double-banded birds in 2 hunts.
In 2 days. Yeah.
That's incredible to me.
I said, Connor, you called that.
2 different areas, I might add. Like we were probably 45 minutes from the other spot that we had hunted Thursday. Opposite direction.
Connor, you called that, Connor. He says, yeah, but I'm not happy because I missed it.
Yeah. He would never let you live that down. Shooting 2 double-banded birds on 2 back-to-back hunts.
Yeah, right. He'd have been out. Sorry, you're done. Go buy your own freaking decoys. So then we're sitting there. Well, sure enough, here they come. It was
you made it back?
I made it back lots of time. I was hustling. Don't get me wrong.
He was out of breath.
Sprinting. I was sprinting. I've never ran that fast. So I'm huffing. I'm sweating. But yeah, here they come. All right. Very minimal calling, very minimal flagging, but a little bit of each. And I was just answering back early season. So I know it's Saturday. It's been open since Thursday. There's probably guys hitting them with the whole time. So I just answer back. I hear the burp. I'll give a burp, 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 and they'll echo. And so I was just echoing. That's all I was doing. Nothing crazy.
And they did just like they were supposed to.
They came in hooked and dropped right into us. And I thought, holy geez, the spread is perfect. It's working. The wind is perfect. We're on.
You got to picture this because Michael and I are up the J leg a little bit. Then there's Jeff, then there's Connor, then there's Todd. So Todd's right on the end.
No, it was not at that time. We moved blinds around. It was Michael, you, Connor, me, Jeff.
Okay. So anyway, Michael and I are on the lake. So those birds had actually come in and are going by us on their way down. And when Todd made the call. And so Michael and I got up and I saw Michael getting up and I tried to stay up as quick as I could because Todd made the call. And I saw birds falling. And 2 flared and tried to backtrack back past Michael and I. And Michael and I got them both. And I think we got every bird out of that bunch, didn't we?
Oh yeah, there was 8 down anyway. I think it was just raining. It was perfect.
Perfect.
And that
And let's not move anything. Let's not do nothing.
We thought this is awesome.
And wind.
Yes. I thought that's my joy. I fooled them. I was able to set this spread up perfect. I was able to tell everybody that's where they're going to land. That's where they landed. My job is done. I got a double banded goose. We just shot the first flock that came in. They did everything they needed to. I'm out, folks. I'm having a nap.
Yep.
And then the wind disappeared.
Yeah, quit. It was dead still.
And that was the last perfect flock that we had seen. And remember I said there was probably 250 geese feeding in this field. And I said out of 200 to 250, we're going to screw up 5 flocks. Now the problem is some of these flocks had 50 freaking geese in them. Yeah. I mean, they were, and I hate big flocks. Big flocks mean less shots on the geese because you only get 3 shots. So if you got 10 come in and everybody's got 3 shots, you're more apt to get them. You got 50 coming in, you only got 3 shots each, right?
There was one time.
So the issue, big flocks, you get one that doesn't like something and flares.
He's gone. He takes the whole flock with him. The whole
flock freaking flares. Where you got 10, you've got less opportunity for one of them to see. That's 5%, that's 5 times the chance that they're going to see something they don't like and flare. I don't like big flocks.
But there was one time through in the middle of the hunt when a big flock came in, did not commit, wanted to circle, because there was a flock coming behind them calling like crazy, just like, and so they stayed up to swing around with them. Well, then that flock didn't bother committing. They were chasing the first flock that was swinging around.
They circled us 3-4 times.
And then another flock came from the other way and did the same thing. There was one point.
Now you got 100 and something geese in the air. You can't hear yourself talk. And here's the frustrating part. Is you've got newer hunters there, right? That have only pass shot, stood on the tracks, and there's like gravel pits, and they shoot them going into the gravel pits over your head, right? And so you want this flock to land. You want 20 of these guys to come drop on you. There's 100 in the air. At least 20 commit and come on down, and then the rest are going to come down, right? But every pass, you'd have 3 or 4 that were dumb enough to come down like they were going to land and start doing the wing flap. And then you say, wait, because there's the bigger flock right behind them. And then they pick up, and then that big flock would follow them. And so Jeff says, we should have just taken those 4. Well, right. We know that now because a bird in the hands before. But the problem was we've hunted this enough to know if 20 come down, 100 are coming down.
That's right.
Only 4 every pass, 4 or 5 come down. And you could shoot them. The minute you pull on those 4, that 100's gone.
They're gone. And you know what? The ones on the ground, drawing the ones from the air, you can take the ones in the air and then still maybe have time to load your gun and get the ones that are taken off.
Possibly, right? So we did. We had some come down and land in the decoys because there's no wind. They can land where they want now, any direction they want. Like there was zero wind at all, which that is so frustrating. You got to have your call on point if you're going to call because there's no wind muffling your call. The number 2 is they can land where they want. And if there's a big spread there and they want to land on the other side of that big spread because it looks like a pocket,
they're going to do it.
They're going to do it. And if they don't like that big lump, they're going to land 100 yards the other side of you being a big lump. Right? Because they can, where if there's a lot of wind, they're going to land in the safety zone of all those geese 15 yards out from the majority of geese and not care so much about your big lump.
They even came from behind us, didn't even circle, and right into the decoys to our right.
Yeah,
over the road, just kept coming.
We were set up so they would come with what should have been with the wind.
Once the wind was gone, they came in the way the wind was blowing. They totally should never have come in that way, but the wind was gone. They just come in from behind us and right in the decoys.
And what do? Like you can't do anything.
Just wait. You can't even change your decoy spread to get something different. Right, because
150 decoys. How you changing it, right? That's the problem. So we did end up moving all our blinds because then once the wind was gone, they did like to land on the other side of that spread. So we grabbed all of our blinds and we moved them down, and it allowed us to get a couple more flocks, get some decent shooting.
We ran back and got handfuls of corn and brought it up and threw it around. And then we did start picking them off out of the flock. So it was a little better hunt. So we ended up with a good hunt.
So a scramble. Don't be afraid to scramble either, right? Wind, my gosh, bring the wind. Me and Connor want to go fishing in Long Point or something like that. Friggin' wind. Every time. Can't go fishing. All right, let's go goose hunting. There's wind. No wind. No. Should have went fishing.
We ended up with 21 birds, and Jeff was amazed, and Michael was happy because Michael he knows he shot 5 himself, and he was really pleased. So, but there was one loner came in. Remember this one? It was later on. Well, they're just singles and doubles that are coming in, and we're picking them off a little bit. But it's getting like the flights are done, so it's not going to be long before we pack up. And this loner came from the other direction, straight at us, straight in. And Todd says, "Okay, Michael, you're on the end. Go ahead. It's your shot." So right at the last minute, it's coming in. Wings are cupped. It never even faltered, never varied. It was coming in, going to land right at our feet. And so Michael went up, made the shot, didn't get it in the head, just shot a little bit behind in the body. So it kept the cup wings. I mean, it couldn't fly.
Oh, geez, I remember this.
It never flapped its wing after that. The wings were cupped. The bird just stiffened up, kept them wings cupped, and just kept coming. And so I said, "Knock it down, Mike." And so he took 2 more shots, but he was behind.
I think he hit it because it started spiraling. No, but I think he hit it the second time because it started spiraling. Because Jeff is now beside me on my left,
and he
starts screaming, "Whoa, whoa, whoa!"
Yeah, Jeff's going, "Whoa, no, whoa!"
I'm going. Why is Jeff yelling this? Why is he yelling no? And I looked over and I realized this thing's coming right at him, like it's gonna land on Jeff, and Jeff can't move. He's got the blind door and he's hiding behind it. Yeah. So I was howling. I said, that was in such slow-mo because you had time to hold that blind door, and because he popped both blinds out, and we were all coming up with the gun. After, if Michael missed, we were backing him up. So Jeff was right there ready. Next thing I know, the gun's going down and he's pulling the blind door closed and he's going, no. And I'm going, why is he closing the blind door? And I'm looking at it. Oh, it was coming right.
Michael hit him.
It would have smoked him right. And it landed at Jeff's feet and bounced.
Michael hit him with the first shot.
To pick up.
Michael hit him with the first shot. He was just trying to put one in the head so he'd buckle under and come down. But he was coming down. I mean, he was
yelling, "No!"
There's no way he was going anywhere.
No, and I'm like, why is he yelling? No, what's going on?
And so Michael was worried somebody else had shot, right? And Michael looked at me and he says, "Was that my bird? Did I hit him?" I said, "Yeah, you did." Jeff says, "Yeah, you're the only one that shot. It's your bird."
The rest of us were taking cover. It was when geese attack.
Yeah, so he was pretty happy. So Mike thought it was a great hunt.
Yeah, that's good.
So it was a good time.
You guys are going to try to get it again this weekend too.
So, Dad has just found a field.
I'll tell you.
He'll tell you.
I'll tell you.
He'll tell you.
So anyway, I went back out. What's today? Tuesday?
Now, wait. Anybody that's listening that wants to get into goose hunting, this is 80% of goose hunting. This part right here.
I went back to
20% in the field, 80% here.
I went back
80% of goose hunting.
Will you stop it? I went back out Monday morning to where we were. Nothing in the cornfield. But on the same farm, there was about 10 in a wheat field. And then I drove to the back wheat field, which was next to the one that you hunted last year.
Yep.
And I could see 10 or 12 without driving all the way back. So I didn't want to drive back and have trouble turning around and spook them. So I thought, okay, this is Monday. I'll keep checking it this week. Should be more going in by Saturday, and they'll probably join up and one field will become dominant by again next Saturday, right? So this morning I got up. I woke up at 7. I don't know.
80% of goose hunting.
I just wake up. So I laid there and I thought, do I go? Yeah, I'm going to go. So I got up at 7:30. The wife roused up and says, "Where are you going?" I said, "I'm going looking for geese." She shook her head and put her head back down.
Yeah.
So I left and I went to a farm that I know that we have permission in. And I wanted to check and see if the corn was off because they told me the corn was coming off sometime this week. So anyway, I drove by the field that we hunted. No, before I got there, when I made the first turn on the right on a wheat field, here's about 12 geese in a field. But I kept going. I drove to the field we hunted Thursday. It's got about 50 in it again already. and it's still a ways from Saturday. And then I drove around to the other field that I wanted to check. And it has right now, this morning, I would say 150 birds in it right now.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. So I worked in for a bit. In fact, I went up. I knew the kids would be up because they were getting ready to go to school. So I went up, knocked on the door, and I talked to them. And I said, right now, this looks like our Saturday hunt. And he says, yep. He says, I see them out there. And I said, well, will you hold it for us for Saturday? And can we drive in? He says, yep, no problem. Just don't get stuck. I ain't pulling you out. I said, there's no problem. So then I drove back.
Not with my truck.
I drove back. That field still had the field we hunted Thursday still held birds. The field where I made the first turn still held birds. But then I kept going to another farm that I hadn't checked yet this year. And there's probably about 100 birds in that field. And so I stopped and talked to the hunter there, or the farmer there. I said, looking at your field. He says, yeah, my grandson and I were going to hunt it, but we're not sure. I said, well, I'll be calling you to see if you hunted it or not. Because he's, yeah, give me a call. He says, we'll talk. So I found 5, maybe 6 fields, but there's one I've got lined up. It's going to be the hunter.
It's going to be the good one. And then Connor just Snapchatted me tonight. And I'll tell you what that is later, Dad. But Snapchatted me tonight with a field with about 100 and something in it. One of our buddies. So we might have to hit that tomorrow night.
So you've got options, which is fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
The worst part of that is because 80% of it, I got to get out of bed and go check the fields.
That's 80% of goose hunting. It's not decoys. It's not the spread. It's not brushing in the blind. It's not being in the spot in the field. It's driving around and finding them and getting permission. That is 80%. It is all your money. People think goose hunt's expensive because of decoys, guns, shells, blinds. No.
It's the gas.
It's the frickin' fuel.
I have already in 2 weeks from Thursday to now, I put $150 of gas in my truck.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Well, I can say it's very much appreciated, and I wish I was able to come with you this Saturday. But we made the commitment to go visit my daughter. But the 25th, if there's still geese left in the area after you guys have, too. What's that?
That's double whammy day because that's opening day of duck.
Oh yeah, we didn't mention the cornfield that we hunted Saturday. We had 4 big flocks of ducks want to land right on us.
Yes, we did. And it's not duck season. So, I mean, and nonstop. And Jeff's going, those were dead ducks. I said, oh, they were dead and a half. Yeah. And then 2 minutes later, when they circled again, they were dead again. And they were dead again.
I just remembered where I turkey hunted this year on public or county bush.
Where you got your turkey.
No, it was a different bush that I heard a bunch of birds at. The ducks and geese that were coming into that pond were way more than I had ever thought. So if that happens, I can go there on a weeknight after work or even first thing in the morning before work, take a morning off or something. And I can have a pretty slick hunt without even having to backpack any decoys in or anything like that.
Oh, absolutely. And they'll just be flitting around that pond. You'll be ready to go. Good to go.
Well, yeah. I mean, the geese might come in late,
right? The geese might come in after dark. That's my only problem with night hunting ponds. They go out to feed. They don't come back till after legal shooting time, which is so frustrating. But the ducks will be.
The mallards were ripping around there nonstop while I was turkey hunting.
Yeah, I think you have to get in there one night after work. That's a given. That's mandatory. Yep. Anyway.
Well, all right. Great podcast, gentlemen. I'm excited. So best of luck.
Yes, we'll see you this weekend, Bill.
Very good.
Bring your AAA game.
Yeah, I'm going to have to.
Your full choke and your AAA.
Take care, Bill.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right, sir.
Have a goodie.
Yep. Bye-bye.
And that'll do it for this week, folks. For the Redneck Country Podcast, I'm Bill, the Almost Guy Tom.
And I'm Todd. And thanks for listening. And folks, if you want to be part of the podcast or you want to give us some feedback or really contact us about anything, feel free to email us at podcast@theredneckcountry.com. Again, that's podcast@theredneckcountry.com. Thanks for listening. Talk to you again next week.